Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unpacking something absolutely fascinating. It's an ancient, profound framework that actually serves as a highly practical daily toolkit for our modern world. If you've ever felt completely drained by workplace stress, overwhelmed by anxiety, dragged down by interpersonal conflicts, or just deeply frustrated by unequal treatment at the office, well, you are definitely in the right place. We are going to explore a concept called Bodhicitta, the mind of awakening, and look at exactly how it can completely transform your daily struggles. Okay, let's dive right into this and take a chronological journey through a single day of practice. 1. The mind of awakening. 2. Your daily morning practice. 3. Transforming daily struggles. 4. Reframing difficult encounters. And 5. Evening reflection.
Section 1. The mind of awakening, the root of liberation.
Now, what's really interesting here is this incredibly profound premise from the Buddhist philosopher Tsongkhapa. He says all joy comes from bodhicitta, all suffering comes from self-interest. Think about that for a second. It directly challenges how we usually operate, right? Especially in a super competitive workplace. We're so conditioned to think that fiercely protecting our own interests, our own time, our own success, that's what brings us happiness. But this ancient wisdom flips the script entirely. It suggests that our relentless focus on me and my problems is literally the root of our suffering, and that true, lasting joy actually requires turning away from self-interest. So, what exactly is bodhicitta? It's defined as the mind of awakening. The texts beautifully describe it as a raft in the sea of suffering and a lamp in the dark night. But practically speaking, it's an intention. It's a mindset rooted in completely replacing self-interest with altruism. The source text explains that as long as this altruistic mind is protected, as long as this lamp stays lit, all of our daily suffering, our workplace anxieties, our frustrations, can eventually be extinguished. This makes bodhicitta the absolute sole root of liberation from suffering. You can really see a stark contrast between these two mindsets. The mind of self-interest, it just creates suffering, anxiety, and conflict. When we're stuck in self-interest at work, worrying only about our own workload or our own recognition, we are tense or defensive, and we're so easily threatened. But the mind of awakening softens the heart, clears our wisdom, and brings ultimate joy. Notice how our default reaction, clinging to our own ego, is often the direct cause of our pain, whereas expanding our focus to the well-being of others actually clears our minds so we can make better, wiser decisions. Section 2, your daily morning practice, setting the intent. Let's move to the actual application and see how this builds. The text outlines a brilliant 3-step daily framework that turns this lofty philosophy into grounded action. We've got a morning aspiration to set the baseline, situational observation during the day when those inevitable triggers arise, and an evening reflection to review our progress. This makes sure the practice isn't just a fleeting thought, but a continuous, actionable loop. And your practice begins before you even log into Slack or check your inbox. Your critical morning mantra is this: may I not forget bodhicitta today, may all my actions benefit beings. By setting this altruistic intention first thing in the morning, you are pre-programming your mindset. You're deciding right in advance that no matter what fires you have to put out today or what crazy office politics you have to navigate, your ultimate goal is to be of benefit to others, not just to serve yourself. Section 3, transforming your daily struggles. Practical shifts. All right, let's talk about the middle of the day when things inevitably start to go wrong. Let's set up the very common feeling of daily anxiety as our first trigger point. Picture this. You're at your desk, and your manager has just handed you another massive project, all while a colleague gets to leave early for the day. It's a glaring moment of unequal treatment. That familiar tightness in your chest begins, right? You're feeling overwhelmed, resentful, and just helpless. What do? And this brilliantly illustrates what to do in that exact moment. The text advises us to reflect. Beings suffer deeply. May my heart be soft, and may I not fall into self-pity. Instead of spiraling down into why is this happening to me, you zoom out. You recognize that countless others across the world, and honestly, even in your own office, are experiencing deep stress and suffering right now. Flipping the focus from your own isolated frustration regarding that unequal treatment to a shared human experience of struggle immediately softens your anxiety. It literally transforms a moment of helplessness into this opportunity for profound empathy and personal growth. Okay, here's our next trigger: tapping into that universal feeling of burnout and fatigue. You know the feeling. It's 3 p.m., you've been in back-to-back meetings, you haven't had a proper lunch, and your energy is just entirely depleted. You have hit the afternoon slump hard.
When you hit that wall, pause and use this reflection. Bodhicitta is an endless source of power. May the power of my vows overcome my fatigue. Because listen, when we are working solely for our own paycheck or promotion, our energy is finite. It is very easily drained. But when you visualize this altruistic goal, when you remind yourself that your efforts are ultimately to help and support your team, your clients, your community, you tap into a much deeper, sustainable well of energy. That genuine wish to help others actively revitalizes a tired mind.
Let's bring up interpersonal friction. This is often the absolute hardest test of our patience. Let's say a colleague sends a message out of nowhere saying, "I thought you were handling the client presentation," when it was clearly documented to be their job. Your instant instinct is to type back a furious defensive response.
In the heat of the moment, pause, reflect. If I protect my awakened mind in this moment, both they and I will find peace. Our instinct is to fight back, right? To win the argument, to defend our ego at all costs. But choosing compassion over retaliation diffuses the friction for both parties. It serves as this rapid mindfulness exercise to de-escalate office tension. You aren't just letting them win, you are actively protecting your own mental peace. And by doing so, you bring down the temperature for everyone involved.
Section 4. Reframing difficult encounters. Changing the lens. So, the crucial point here is that every single encounter is an immediate opportunity to practice our awakening. When you encounter workplace rivals, return their hostility with compassion, neutralizing the toxicity. When you see others' wealth, like maybe a coworker getting the exact promotion you desperately wanted, actively rejoice in their fortune. This is an amazing, targeted exercise to completely eradicate inner jealousy and toxic competition in the office. When dealing with someone's ignorance or frustrating mistake, arise compassion without despising them. Every single one of these scenarios, rather than being an obstacle, actually becomes a custom-built gym for strengthening your altruistic mindset.
Section 5. Evening Reflection, Review and Dedication. Your day concludes with the evening check. Did my bodhicitta grow today? If it regressed, sincerely repent and vow again. This honest self-reflection is the final key to ensuring tomorrow is better than today. You just sit down for a moment and ask yourself, hey, when that client yelled at me, did I react with self-interest or did I maintain my compassion? When I was exhausted, did I shut down or did I find energy in helping my team? And if you're failed, and let's be real, you will fail sometimes, you don't punish yourself, you just acknowledge it, let it go, and vow to try again tomorrow. I want to read this incredibly beautiful dedication from the text that you can use to close your day. May my heart be like a lotus, unstained by the mud. May my vows be like a lamp, burning endlessly without going out. Think about the mud as the stress, the office politics, the daily friction we all face. A lotus doesn't just survive in the mud, it actually uses the mud as the very fuel to bloom and grow. All those difficult moments at work are the exact nutrients your mind needs to awaken. So, you now have a complete, structured toolkit for turning stress into strength and conflict into compassion. The philosophy is clear, the daily steps are laid out, and the power to change your experience is entirely in your hands. So I leave you with this. How will you apply this awakened intention to your next daily challenge? Thank you for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope you take this powerful mindset into your day.